Hey, I'm Nick Rhodes from Duran Duran. Check out our exclusive cover version of John Lennon's Instant Karma in support of Amnesty International. I cannot imagine how awful it would be to not be able to create the songs with the lyrics that you want to write.
Instant karma's gonna get you. It's gonna kick you in the head. You better get yourself together. Pretty soon you're gonna be dead. What in the world are you thinking of? Laughing in
I think choosing Instant Karma was the perfect one for Duran Duran because it's uplifting. It's got one of those unforgettable choruses that every band always strives to write.
like the moon, the stars, and the sun. Yeah, we all shine on and on and on and on.
Well, when I was growing up in Birmingham, England, we did always listen to a lot of music. It was the 1960s. The Beatles had had the hugest impact of anyone. And in the 70s, John Taylor and I, who were neighbours, used to listen to a lot of music together, more glam rock, David Bowie and Roxy music. But the one person that still had a huge influence then from the 60s on us was John Lennon, without any doubt. Well, the 1970s in the UK was actually an incredibly inspiring time to be growing up with music because we had so many different movements. I mean, for me, glam rock was the one that grabbed me first. Artists like David Bowie and bands like Roxy Music and Cockney Rebel and Sparks. It had a real energy and I don't know, it seemed so special. But having said that, there was so much other stuff going on. I mean, there was disco, northern soul, techno rock with bands like Pink Floyd and Genesis, and then punk rock, which when that came around, it just wiped out all the music that seemed to have been before it. And it took over the UK for not very long, about 2 years. But that was when John and I first realized that we could be in a band ourselves, because we were seeing kids on stage that were only a couple of years older than us playing guitars. And I remember thinking, I know those 3 chords. We could do that. I can honestly say of all the great musicians out there, John Lennon is the most iconic of all for me. He is the person that reinvented the way that people look at rock music. He took his roots from American rock and roll, but along with the rest of the Beatles, really created the sound that we all draw on every day. Every other musician that writes songs now, eventually you end up looking at a Lennon song. There are so many great Lennon songs. When we decided to cover one, the biggest argument wasn't about, oh, should we do a John Lennon song? It was, well, what will we choose? I mean, we could have done a triple album of John Lennon covers. But I wouldn't do that to his songs. I think choosing Instant Karma was the perfect one for Duran Duran because it's uplifting. It's got one of those unforgettable choruses that every band always strives to write, and the sentiment of it is so great. He didn't miss a thing. when you become a musician, you obviously have a vision, and you believe that what you're doing is a form of communication. It's something that you have the urge to entertain other people, to play people your songs and your music, and to connect with them, to have those people listen and participate in some way in what you're doing. And so I think that with all musicians, whatever it is you're trying to get across, whether it's just a simple lyric with a dance song that's making people move and making people have a good time, or whether it is a deeper, perhaps political message, it is a fantastic means of communication. And with Duran Duran songs, we've pretty much gone from one end of the spectrum to the other at different times throughout our career. With songs like Ordinary World, which I think has a very poignant message, to I know other songs like Hungry Like the Wolf, which is just about relationships between girls and boys. But whatever it is you're singing about, I think that it's something that you feel at that time in your life, it's important enough to try and communicate. And I feel a lot of the writers, like Lennon, who have created a lot of music with messages, have done it in an earnest way and have managed to really make a difference. They have campaigned relentlessly for the things that they believe in.